we live?
What's a live stream without asking?
All right, team, y'all know the drill.
You know the drill.
Tell us if we're live.
If you can hear us, tell us. You know the drill.
20 seconds of us just wondering alarmedly.
Yes.
No one's happy about it, but here we are.
All right, people.
Oh, no, that wasn't us. I got excited. I just saw a word.
Let us
Wasn't even a
know.
yes.
Let us know.
Yes.
We're live.
Arun.
We did it.
You know what
This
else is on?
this is not planned at all. Like, if you watched our actual review during the trailer, I looked at them and I said, I think we should do a live stream. Just because I was like, there's just so much here to dissect here that I was just like, this.
We could have done an hour-long reaction, and that's not the format for it.
No. Most people click off after the reaction anyway, except for you guys. You might come here. Yeah.
And go back to that, too, because we react very exuberantly,
Yes.
as we're about to do here.
Really sorry about having to remove that music, though. We've dealt with I kid you not, we've had videos demonetized over 3 seconds before, and there have been times where I'm like, okay, if I just make it really low, 1%, it might be fine. No, not even 1% volume.
And that's not like
it.
a cover that they will find us. Jefferson Airplane themselves will knock on our door.
Yes.
Are they still alive? If they are, they'll find us.
But thank you guys so much for being in here. It's so last minute, so impromptu. Didn't really go. I didn't even put this on Twitter or anything like that. But hey, Samuel, thank you for being here for the first time. Ernesto, Remy, Andrew, Justin, TJ, Rob Arkley. Okay, here we go. John, turn up your mic is what they're saying. And do we all sound good? This is so last minute. Just you guys got to help us out with the stream, which you guys ask. That helps. The questions and the things you guys put in this stream are what's going to really help dictate the way this stream ultimately goes. But I'm seeing that there seems to be a good amount of people here that don't really, not here in this stream specifically, but just there's a lot of people who aren't fans of this trailer. And, honestly, it wasn't until the 4th time we watched it where I'm like, I get it. Because, especially if you look back at the other 3 Matrix trailers, the last 2 especially being very, there's a very specific look those films have. And they also are accompanied by the music of Rob Dugan, which makes a completely different vibe. And here this has a very modern day trailer vibe about it, especially doing the White Rabbit thing. I know it's totally apt for the Matrix, but Coy, what were we about to say?
I feel like it's intentional to a level that we're going to feel very blown away by the muted green saturation, maybe some samplings. I think we're going to go back to the Matrix that we know, but this is clearly to me another Matrix, a different version of the software. And there's a shot in the trailer where he notices everyone looking down at their phones because in 99 we were using payphones and now we are literally plugged into the Matrix. I'm concerned that in the hour we do this live stream, I'm going to need to check my phone 15 times because I have a problem. That's the movie. So if it was the same color palette, the same tone, I don't think it would be appropriate. I think we need to show a new upgrade, a new version, a new reality. So I think that it's going to alienate people in the trailer, but when they experience the film, they'll appreciate the fact that they've done such a jarring visual and auditory shift on purpose.
True. I think, though...
Tricky sell, though.
I think that... Wait, what was the last point you just said?
An intentional shift on purpose, auditory and visual, that we're going to get a throwback moment, that we're plugged into the Matrix now more than ever, so it needs to look different. I did a lot of things there, Greg. Which thing you...
But then I immediately...
Play it back!
But then I immediately lost my train of thought when I was like, ooh, I have a thought. Well, let me just wait for Core to finish, and I lost my train of thought. I messed up. John, go for it. You step in there.
What I liked about this trailer is that it's different. I would have been more worried, I think, had it looked a lot exactly like the visual and sonic language of the original movies for whatever reason. I feel like, with different iterations of the Matrix, a different time, the fact that you have the characters all older, this really appealed to me because it feels like an evolution of the Matrix into the future, and it got me very, it didn't look like it was presenting the plot I was expecting. And yet, to me, somehow it still feels like a Matrix movie is being pitched to me. So I'm really excited, and I kind of loved what they did here. But I also
Your mic's really quiet. I don't want to interrupt you. I just want to make sure they got you.
I'm trying to crank this thing.
John, what the fuck, John?
Usually
We did
everything
that
works.
intentionally.
How about now? Is it working any better now? John's mic is off. The lights are flashing now. No sound still? Well, here. All right. Well, thanks, Coy. Yeah, no, this was exactly kind of this. I really like this trailer because it's different, because it isn't the same visual language and sound and everything as the original movie. I like that the colors are so saturated. I like that the characters are older, and you have all these expectations, and they're not living the same lives as we saw in the previous movie. And yeah, like with different iterations of the program, the software, the Matrix itself, and also just an updated time now that we live in. I feel like it's totally appropriate, and yeah, it's like if this had looked like all the familiar stuff from the Matrix, I would be a lot more worried right now, and would be more comparison heavy versus just looking as to how this branches out of the previous films.
Well, I think I think I remember what I was going to say now because of what John was saying.
And my original mic is fixed. Awesome.
Was that although it looks different, there's so many visuals here, and then on top of that too. Yesterday, I spent so many hours just going through the teaser trailer footage. And what was fascinating to me is that, on that site where you could click the red pill, blue pill, you could see all this footage. There are people who put together a compilation of all the footage there that essentially I was like, okay, this is all going to be in the official trailer. And a lot of it is not in the trailer that debuted today. That shot that was going around where Neo has that pose, looks straight out of John Wick. The other part too, where like he's reliving the moment where Agent Smith and the train fight in the Matrix 1 was doing that like multiple arm punch thing.
None of the voiceover.
There's so much in those teasers that is actually not in this official trailer at all. So it's kind of weird when you're like, okay, this looks and feels different, a little bit more artsy, a little bit more poetic, yet they're doing so much visual homages to the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What I'm worried about is if the current population will want something as heady as the original Matrix. I think there's a beautiful.
They should.
That's
half the
I
point.
want them to. Yes, please. But I'm worried about we live in a society. We live in a world where things are more manipulated emotionally. Like the swelling scores have to be so much more like feel this than they were in the 90s, and there's going to be such a different tone to this film, I think, intentionally, that I do worry about either comparison, why I think they changed the color palette, or the headiness, how dense the architect is, how dense those concepts are. The fact that it looks like we got Sati back, but a more grown up version of her. The fact that we've got a Yahya Abdul-Mateen, maybe he's an agent, maybe he's young Morpheus, maybe he's the son of Morpheus. There's going to be a lot of really heady concepts that I don't know what modern audiences are going to do with that kind of film. So advertising it to appeal to everyone versus appealing to, like, they know we're already going to see it.
Yes.
Like, we've already got tickets. I'm there. Like, hopefully Warner Brothers hires me to do press on it. But I'm there no matter what as soon as possible. But it's a matter of selling it to the people that aren't there and people that need to go back and rewatch the first one.
We have a heart out here at 10:20, by the way. He has to leave, and I have something to go to as well.
Unlike
So we're going to keep this one a little bit tight. But going through the trailer again, I actually do have a theory about Morpheus, and we got to get to the super chats because we have some that have come in here. No need to put other people down. Jabby's great, and the Jabby is actually the first one who got me into the Matrix in the first place.
And Rob Zombie should come back while you're bringing people up and down.
Don't get this demonetized, guys. Come on.
White Zombie. Less S or C
Do
still
you know
out
how
the
hard
White
I had to
Zombie
resist singing along? White Zombie, also great.
White
Yeah.
Zombie's the move.
Also the
More human
move.
than human is apropos.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking, I think Morpheus is strictly a program. Like,
Residual self-image.
There is a moment that was going around from the teaser footage that looked very much like just an android program within the Matrix. So here's my theory. I think we would have heard of Lawrence Fishburne's in this movie.
He said he didn't get a call.
He said he didn't get a call. There's been no announcements about it. I don't get why they would shy away from Carrie-Anne Moss they wouldn't shy away from putting Carrie-Anne Moss in the trailer and all that, but they wouldn't feature Lawrence Fishburne. I don't get why they wouldn't feature Lawrence Fishburne. So I think in the real world, because you have Neo who looks really old, I think because there's a shot here in the trailer where he looks old, and in the teaser there's another shot where he looks even older in the mirror reflection. So my theory is that this takes place a while after Matrix Revolutions. I think this takes place like at least a few decades, and I don't know how long, but sometime there. And that in the real world, I'm assuming Morpheus is dead. And that's why they have Yahya Abdul-Mateen
Representing that
but he's
figure.
a program. Yeah,
I do think there's a nefariousness to him. I agree.
Because there's one shot here where he does look like like he's dressed like an agent in the hallway. But I feel like that's probably very early on in the movie before he realizes what, because this whole thing seems to be about resurrecting who these people are within Trinity, Neo, and Morpheus, the program too. And I think the program will help him along the way. That's what I think.
There are things within the lore
Yeah,
about
yeah.
how like they can rebuild you based on what residual images and ideas you left in the Matrix itself. So maybe he is just like a solely sort of cobbled together digital version
Right.
of Morpheus or something like that.
Also, that shot in the bay looked like the lasers were actually building Neo back up. Like he had the scarred eyes.
Yeah, if
and
you
there was a
see-
little laser nipple action.
In one of those little freeze frames early on, yeah, you see Neo in the fluid with his eyes burnt out, and you see the machines, it looks like, repairing some of his wounds or whatever. So there is that, too, as I wonder if they're, like, keeping him on extra super life
Yes.
support or
and
something.
because of the age thing, which I think is going to play into it. But I also think there's going to be a Trinity awakening. We talked about in the reaction a little bit, but I noticed this time in the trailer, there's the long handshake of do we know each other, but in one of the flashes, there's the same handshake with the same frame, but a
And
little
there's,
glowy
like,
hands.
light in
Well, the
their
fact
So
that-
I think
palms.
that's an activation.
Well, the fact that she's like literally diving off the rooftop with
Seems
him,
like she can do some stuff.
I feel like she's gonna have like the powers of the One in here too.
Yeah.
The
Like
two.
she is she's the Trinity, you know.
We-
Yeah.
all of- and
Yeah.
what if she can do three of her, like in the Vravra?
Yeah, the Vravra.
That's what that visual looks like. It sounds.
But what are some of your guys' theories? Put them in the chat below.
Also, someone said more techno music, and I agree. That soundtrack, the first Matrix soundtrack, is one of the best techno soundtracks of that era.
Oh,
My
yeah.
God, is it great?
let's
Boy, Omni Media in the chat says Trinity and Neo's bodies were in the Machine City too when he was still in Zion's, or where he was still.
That's
in
my
Zion.
point. That's why I was saying in our trailer break during their discussion that I feel like the machines probably like preserve their bodies.
Yeah.
For some reason, because I think the machines still want to like. Jonathan Groff reads like a machine to me.
He reads
yeah.
like not an architect specifically, but one of their like high up like I'm gonna explain the Matrix to you kind of guys.
But the fact that they end on the trailer with him, I'm like, he's got to be the main villain of the film.
Yeah.
They need a central villain.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's going to be him. Anyway, let's look at some of these super chats. Yeah, it does feel different. Let's go to.
I
some
got
of these
one more
super
big
chats.
thought. I'm sorry, can I interrupt?
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like I mentioned at the top the times we're living in and the heady concepts and those things. I wore this shirt for a reason. I am obsessed with this album. I think it's one of the better pieces of art made this century. And it posits that we became gods once we invented the internet because we made avatars, we made creations, we live, and I, myself, Koi Jandro, live online quite a bit more than the average person. So I have recently had many a crisis about where at Koi Jandro stops and where Koi Jandro begins, because I spend more time here with you digitally. I spend more time in these little squares than I actually do in a world not in these little squares. So
Yes.
if you spend more time digitally than analog, which one is the actual more true self? I think this film will ask the question, if we are plugged into the Matrix willingly, the machines have won because we've chosen this reality. We've chosen to put ourselves in a world where the gods are of their own creation. We have created these avatars of ourselves. What is the Matrix if we're doing it to ourselves? That's what I hope it asks, because
That's a
I
great
want
question.
to know.
I think so.
I'm worried.
More
I-
so than now than ever, I feel like
Yeah.
people would be conflicted to leave the Matrix.
Because
Can
I'm
you-
in the Matrix and I want to eat the steak, and I also like live digitally, and I don't know if at Koi Jandro is more real or this corporal body that's dying.
And simulation theory is a lot more popular in this day and age.
Can people hear you, John?
Yes, they very much echoed that sentiment.
Okay, cool. All right.
And yeah, Childish Gambino.
Dude, the album's so good because the
Fudge,
internet.
yeah.
Read the script, listen to the album, check out Dissect on Spotify, and have yourself a trip.
I hope they give us an Animatrix again. Maybe another one that's in between.
Oh,
PS5
please
game.
do.
Carter Lovejoy in the chat's talking about
PS5.
there.
Like, do
That game
all
was
of it.
dope.
Like,
Enter the Matrix was such a good game.
oh, dude, that's the one I.
Hi, Kong. Thanks for being here. And people like you, Koi.
Hey, thanks,
Hey,
people.
all
Make sure to
right.
subscribe to Koi.
Let's
Please.
check out this first super chat here. Fear and Loathing in general. I think Neo is working. I think Neo is working as an old software programmer, and this reboot is trying to keep him in check because he helped the machines reboot it.
I actually like that theory a lot because in the teasers you see him. Oh, what is the word? In the teasers you see him going into a coffee shop, the same one where he's like bumping into Trinity, and it's some word that sounds like computer. Oh God, what was it? It was playing the word latte too.
Oh yeah. Scheiße. It's yeah, it'll come to me.
But yeah, I think he is a programmer or a developer in this movie, going back to the Thomas Anderson roots.
Yeah.
But he actually has succumbed to being just the guy who's, except it's playing more on the depression side. Whereas in the first movie, he's like, I feel like there's something more out there, and he's a hacker. I don't think he's a hacker this time around. I think he is an employee.
And I feel like
who's-
that's
who's
gonna
having
tie-
existential depression problems.
Yeah, and I think it's going to tie into the color palette thing we were talking
Simulate.
Thank you,
There
Omni
you
Media.
go.
Thank you,
Such a good
Simulate.
name. Holy
Thank you,
crap,
Simulate.
Simulate.
That's the name, and it's like in green. So
Yeah.
damn, dude, thank you for pointing that out. So yeah,
I want that as a tattoo immediately.
There
I feel
you go.
like
Thank you, Garth.
simulation
People
and
are doing it.
caffeine are my
Is
thing.
that-
a lot of people know.
Now it is.
Yeah,
Thank you,
like what is it called? Yeah.
everyone.
Is that going to be this
Latte.
movie's simulacrum and simulation?
Yeah.
Is that what this is going to be?
Oh, I'm immediately so many tattoos.
I'm just wondering how much more. It seems like it's probably going to be a lot more overt here. With what everything it's doing.
There's a
little bit
Deus
more
Ex
in your
Machina
face.
sign in the trailer.
There's a Deus Ex, yeah, right behind him
That's
as
what I
something's
mean.
exploding. Like, yeah.
But I hope that's not at its expense. I hope that's intentional. I hope that I hope this seventh Matrix, which we assume it is
Well-
very literal, and then we also have a mind blow.
And that's what I was going to say is if you look at just the literal translation of that is God has left the machine, so that's a perfect literal instead of like
Yeah.
a filmmaking term.
Also, the White Rabbit song is literally about
That's what I
following
mean.
the White Rabbit. The pills make you big and small.
Yeah.
Like they picked very literal metaphors here. I hope there's more than that.
He's not a hacker. He's a hacker.
Aw.
Comment, David McKay.
the everyday non-expert. Glad you're here for this. Love your live shows. Thank you, everyday non-expert.
Thank
You're
you,
an
buddy.
expert in kindness and generosity. All right. Dakota Jones, One Virus Effect.
Hey, Dakota. Thank you, buddy.
Shouts out. Hey guys, glad I get to contribute to this stream. My thoughts after seeing this is wondering where it'll go, where it'll be going if Smith died, right? So who's the villain?
I have a theory about that because I believe Hugo Weaving was asked to be in it, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, he had
So
schedule.
I think there's going to be. What if it's Jonathan Groff, who is like a Smith
Who is
programming?
like-
I don't know. That's a little far fetched.
I mean, maybe he's the
got the
next
type.
step up.
I mean, if you think about it, so much of this seems to be playing on the first Matrix. And you remember that interrogation scene, but with the mouth.
Oh yeah.
And that's
How
and
could
the-
you
and the
forget
teaser-
that?
And the teaser with the mouth. That's yes, and that was Groth who did it. So maybe that is agents. Maybe that is a Smith.
What if that's a mislead and he's actually on our side because we assume because of his roboticness he's a bad guy. And he gets
That's
that
true.
little
There's gotta be a
twitchy
good
arm
robot.
thing. Also, we saw
But
that
my-
shot in recently our rewatch that they're doing that mirror down the throat shot is in a shot split with the missile going through.
Yeah.
So near the end of the trailer, there's a missile that somehow warps through reality
Yeah,
and
it's
goes through
playing the
multiple
background
dimensions,
screen.
which I think is going to actually be a single shot. I don't think that's a mislead. I think that missile is able to go between Matrix programs.
Yes.
I think we're going to see multiple programs. I think maybe when he
The archives.
missiles, like when he dodges bullets but dodges a missile, I think maybe that goes between different matrices. And at one of the matrices, they're studying him with his and like that causes us to go back to the first Matrix. They're analyzing old matrices to upgrade their new one.
I mean, that's what they always do, right?
Right.
That's what
Yeah.
Agent Smith talks about in the first.
But I
Matrix
think we see it
movie.
happening.
Yeah.
I love this.
I
I
th-
just love what this gets us talking about.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm like, we got to do a live stream. We got to do a live stream.
Guys, tell you the Matrix trilogies. I knew I wanted Coy for this video when I found out Coy is also a defender of the sequels.
Die hard.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm a pretty big defender of the sequels too.
Do a lot of mushrooms. Watch all 3 movies. Change your life.
Jacob Sanders, yes, procrastinate. No need to do schoolwork. Most people end up broke after school anyway.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm here to inspire the youth.
I just encourage drug use.
Hafiz Alif says Neo
They
plus
should have
John.
called this a Matrix rebooted. Yeah, I
They
think it would have been a perfectly apt title, and I think it would have
Oh,
been
yeah.
fine. It would have worked on so many layers.
I'm really surprised they didn't.
They
but
should-
Maybe they felt it was too on the nose. Plays White Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
like-
that's the trailer guy's choice.
I don't know. Maybe. All right.
Think about all the things we saw in the movie, the Deus Ex Machina. Like, there's so many like.
That's true. There's
Coy,
a
we-
lot of metas.
We got to get out of here. We don't have time
I'm
today.
focused.
All right,
Carter.
Carter Lovejoy. I have a feeling they're gonna pull a Force Awakens with this, where it's just a soft remake of the original Matrix. Like, would you say the same?
I think to a certain extent they will be doing it, but I think the commentary will be more deep than just a rehash of the first one because Lana Wachowski is returning. You know,
I think it's going to be like Star Trek, the first JJ Star Trek, where it's going to be a prequel, sequel, reboot. I think it's going to reinvent the first. It's going to be a sequel to the third, but it's also going to start the franchise over again.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a solid prequel, sequel, reboot.
Yeah, absolutely. I would be very surprised if it doesn't decide to go deeper and ask more questions, because I don't think it. If they're just rehashing, I don't think Lana Wachowski would just return for that.
They bring
You know?
back payphones.
And it's like as cool as as cool as the action looks in here. I just love how the main takeaway isn't really that for. That's like the last thing we talked about. It's like we
literally-
expect the action to look cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good
Yeah.
point, though. Like, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm excited about this franchise. Is we don't care about the stuff we know is great. We want the next level.
Yes. And I got this shirt from a patron and a friend actually as well. Anissa Oliva. She gave this shirt to me a long time ago, and I've been waiting for this trailer to come out ever since to rock this shirt.
Can you give me more live chat? We got stuck
Hafiz
somewhere.
Alif says Neo plus John Wick plus Johnny Silverhand crossover, and I am here
Yes.
for that. Here for it. Jason Rager throwing a rager. The Merovingian should be social media.
I wonder if the Merovingian will be in this movie.
I mean, we need a pervy Frenchman.
But the Merovingian is the theory that the Merovingian is a former one? Is that what the theory is?
Isn't that
I
a
think that's
theory?
one of the common theories.
I think it's a common theory, but I don't
I don't think
necessarily
it's
agree
accurate.
with it.
No. Yeah, I don't
I think
agree so
people
either.
said it, but I
Yeah.
don't think it myself, because I just don't see the corruption of the one going to that level. So that would kind of rewrite the concepts of the one to such a level they'd have to have a new oracle to explain it,
Okay.
which might be Sati, right?
Sure.
So I think she's going to be an oracle-esque character.
Oh, Sunny Times in the chat is saying if you freeze one of the early frames of the trailer shows dead eyeless Neo being worked on by Sentinels. So yeah, I think my theory might hold up.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, they revive. Hey, we brought it up.
And that's
earlier.
the Jesus metaphor we've had throughout the three films. Like, we've
Yeah.
had a lot of Jesus in Neo, so that would play.
when the Romans went inside the tomb and worked on Jesus. And
Yeah,
woke him
they
up.
totally did. They're like, his eyes
Yeah,
are messed up. How to
hammers
fix
and
that?
chisels.
Fix his eyes.
And then Easter rebooted.
Clack,
Here we
clack,
are.
clack.
Very strong Trinity choice.
But I think
Really
the
good move.
Merovingian should still be in here. You got to bring back Persephone, man.
Rakesh Hari says that actor is part of the cast. So
Yeah.
if that's
Oh, is
true,
he?
That's
Oh,
what,
is he?
I
Yeah.
know that. That's exciting.
Not in the trailer at all, though. JB Bonifacio.
Bonifacio.
Morpheus died in the Matrix Online video game, so I think that's canon. I know the Wachowskis were involved in that game, and
Yes.
I know Enter the Matrix is canon.
There are, and I wasn't sure because there's a it's like he dies, but I feel like there was a further iteration of the games where it was revealed that he didn't actually die.
These games sound great.
But but depending on who you talk to, Morpheus is or has been dead recently.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, maybe I was thinking about that. Like maybe because they called Hugo Weaving but didn't call Lawrence Fishburne. Maybe that is true. Because from what I've heard, they've always wanted the gaming industry or the games to continue the Matrix, basically.
Well, video games and anime were a great inspiration for the visual palette and even the world building. of the
And
Matrix.
comic books, like
Yeah,
the Steve
so-
Scrooge letter, they did the storyboards like a comic book.
And I really wouldn't want it to be any other way.
No,
Even but full disclosure, I never played Matrix Online, but I watched videos to understand what goes on in there.
Yeah.
But I played Enter the Matrix. I beat
Yeah.
that from beginning to end.
Jada
but
Pinkett Smith.
Jada Pinkett Smith, man.
Oh yeah, and Jada Pinkett Smith. Some people are speculating that it's her and Morpheus, Niobe and Morpheus's offspring is
Yeah, that's
whoever
one of my
Yahya
three
is playing.
theories for him is that kid,
Yeah.
which
Alright.
would track. But my curiosity is if we're gonna address all of the things Reloaded and Revolutions posited but didn't prove. Like, there's so many theories, like, for example, the Merovingian, like, where it's like, we have this idea. Like, will this answer questions or just ask more
Yeah.
to do the prequel, sequel, reboot thing?
Oh, and somebody else, Rakesh is again pointing out the other agent, I believe, who we see do the morph is of the original trilogy.
Oh,
So
that's
that
cool.
agent is back.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Captain Obvious. I'm surprised it's coming out this year and not in 2022, and Christmas at that. Also, the song choice was good.
It was a bummer to lose the song, but we that.
It's coming out on 1/2/22/21. It is a palindrome, and Neo is an anagram, so they're playing with a lot of fun, beautiful metaphors.
Oh,
One, Neo-
really?
Yeah.
Really?
1/2/22/21.
Now put that together.
Pal-
Yes, sir.
Palindrome.
Palindrome release date, so it's I think
shit, way to
well
go.
worth it.
Way to go.
2-2-2-1. I've been very excited since I saw that because they announced that like 6 months ago, and I was like, oh, very excited.
Wow.
Well worth it.
That's crazy. Okay, cool.
Once in a lifetime release date.
I don't think we are going to do a reaction to the movie, guys. Like the Matrix means too much to me.
Theater experience.
Like a live? No.
Oh,
you're saying
no. I mean, like, have we done like movie reactions? That movie means too much to me to not watch it in the theaters the first time. Sorry. I'll break it to everyone here right now. People got pissed at us for doing that for the Suicide Squad. But
gotta live.
But
See these
some movies are worth
every
cinema.
once in a while, you know.
gotta
That's the way it goes.
choose
Some movies
life.
are worth the cinema experience.
Thank you guys for being contributing to the super chats too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to eliminate the music out of there though after the copyright claim because it was like, look, we've been up since 4:30 in the morning.
that was
we're
nuts.
gonna make sure this is monetized because, yeah, like and it's obviously we had a lot of thoughts and there was work put into it. But let's go into this. All right, Nerd's Eye View. Do you guys think there'll be a plot twist where Yaya is playing the role as Morpheus? That's what you just asked.
Ah.
Yeah.
Morpheus and Niobe's son.
Yeah, just tell me.
I mean, no, I don't think so. I think I think Yaya is, and I think it's too predictable, and I think because of what I've seen in the teasers that he is just a program. I don't think he's real. I don't think that I don't think he's an actual physical human being.
He's
I could
Mephisto.
definitely
I
see
think
that.
he could be enhanced. It would be actually a cool thing because he would just essentially be AI, but a good AI.
Yeah,
You know,
just
and I
like
think that would be pretty neat. Like, and how ironic would that be for Morpheus to have become an AI? Like, that would be
Yeah.
a really cool.
And I feel like the
Yeah.
machines would love that.
and it would be
Yes, yeah.
and it would be a great middle ground too of just like, well, you know, not all the machinery is just evil.
It also plays on the subconscious, right? So Neo is taking blue pills by doctor's orders, which we assume that Neil Patrick Harris is a program. So a program telling him to subconsciously dilute himself, right? So the red pill awakens you.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really beautiful if the machines know to have someone that he's comfortable around subconsciously. He would subconsciously trust Morpheus just like he subconsciously recognizes Trinity.
Right.
So it would make sense for the machines to go like, haha, double bait and switch, take a red pill from us and go deeper into another Matrix. And that's when I think we go into a different program.
Yeah.
I think the red pill brings you into a deeper level of the Matrix they have more control over.
True.
Makes sense. Dashiell Milner, thank you for that moment
I
of
love
silence.
you, Coy.
Ideas.
Thank you, Dashiell. Incredible Tom. Coy, you want to read that?
I wonder if either Neo and Trinity identity change because of the Matrix, or did they become reincarnated instead of resurrected? The architect said there's been other Neos. Maybe it's the same Neo reincarnated through time.
See, that's what was confusing to me. Yes. Oh, we got Streamlabs we got to get to as well. Thank you to
Absolutely.
everyone who's contributed to our Streamlabs. They take way less fees than YouTube, so I appreciate that. But let me see. That was that's what was kind of making the Merovingian theory a little confusing to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, do
they all look like Keanu?
Do they all look like? Yeah, exactly.
also doesn't age.
Yeah, but it seems like this version of the reboot is going to be different in the sense of how like Revolutions ended, but they had to reboot it to come to peace because the Matrix was going to be destroyed from the virus. So was that always the point? Was the Matrix always destined to go down that path? Like when we see in Revolutions, when the Architect and Oracle meet at the sunrise, is that how it always goes, or was that it was because the way the Oracle and Architect interacted with each other was implying that like this is a different ending than we normally get. This is a different outcome than we
Agreed.
normally get. So back to that question that we had. What was the question that we had?
Reboot versus resurrection.
Are
they the same?
of the Neos?
Yeah.
And the Trinities.
Are they reincarnated or are they?
I feel like on this version you can make it like another Neo and like it's not the same path. It's not the same thing. It's obviously got to be different. I don't think all the Neos are the same. I think this time around the Neo is going to look like Keanu Reeves because clearly the awakening of the One is going down a completely different path than before, because as established in Matrix Reloaded, it's always the same. That what the Architect does. They find the One and then they destroy it and they recruit some people from Zion to rebuild, and that's clearly not what's going on this time, So I think this is the first time where the One is where Neo is, just the same face, the same model.
What if Trinity becomes like we joked about her getting powers alongside Keanu, but what if in this Matrix they know how to subdue Keanu enough that the Neo has to be someone new and it's Trinity?
What the fuck?
There's a Greg.
There's a Greg
I know.
out there. Someone totally.
Good old Greg Alba.
Some people are like, "Oh, that's not cool." I don't know. I kind of like it.
Greg.
He's a very positive clone.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It's a very lovely clone there.
So like, what if she has to be because they're able to subdue Neo's path as the one, so Trinity
Right.
becomes the one.
And what are then the his dreams? Are those just like random flashes of the trace elements of the previous iterations of the one program?
Yeah,
or
the
something?
programming he once had.
Jill in the chat's right. Always got to question who to trust. All right, so let's go back to the over here really quick.
Alrighty, we got Peter Cunnington. It's a good name. I want to see this movie, but I think it's gonna bomb at the box office, especially the fact that it's on HBO
Oh, yeah.
Max. Now,
Yeah, I totally think it's gonna bomb.
now I saw
I
the
think it's
fine-
gonna underperform, not because I think it's gonna be a bad movie. I think it's gonna underperform because it's gonna be on HBO Max.
Do we know for certain?
bad
Is it a day and date? Because I saw some fine print that says available on HBO Max 31 days after theatrical release.
31 days.
4:30.
I thought the same. I got
days.
really excited, and then
It's
I read
always-
it again, and I was like,
It's always 4:31 days.
4:31 days.
I had the exact same thought. For like 10 seconds, I was really excited
I
for
don't
cinema.
want this to bomb. Damn it, HBO.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's what's going to happen. But Pandemic Jones, what do you say here? I know nothing about The Matrix because I have seen none of them. You guys convinced me to watch them, so I'm just here to say what's up and much love. Go Keanu. You got to watch The Matrix.
You gotta watch
Dude.
The Matrix. It'll
At
change
least,
your life.
at least the first one. At least the first one.
That is a watershed
I mean,
cinematic
if you want to
moment.
watch the fourth one, you should watch all three.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
should at least watch the first one.
Absolutely, it's
The
a
very
it's
least.
a watershed moment in cinema.
I also think it's an actual life-changing film. It's so that came out in 1999, and I would argue that's one of the most influential pieces of art that has shaped who I am as a person. Like, hard stop. That art changed my life. It changed how I view the world. I think about it at least once a week, sometimes more often. I think about it every time I see a cat, every time I see a spoon, every time, like, often I think of this film. It'll change you, man.
I hope this movie. I would love to be wrong. It's just with the trajectory at HBO Max, the fact that this is R-rated. I'm just like
No, I don't disagree. I just worry
feel
about
like it's-
cinema
yeah.
because of it.
Well, thank you, PJ. I appreciate that. Greg Variant in the chat. Yep, that's right.
Well, we're really good at our job, Pandemic Jones says. We convinced him further. Change your life, Pandemic Jones.
Change it. Reboot yourself. Flev Doran just popping in to say hi. Currently going home from work, and I didn't even know the trailer was out. When I get home and watch, if you're still streaming, I'll give my 2 cents if I have any.
We won't be. We're gonna end on time.
This is
today.
not going to be a 5-hour live stream today.
I love that I Skyped in later. I love that I
Yes.
called you guys driving after doing another 2 shows, and they were still going, these champions.
You know what I'll say too, like with the actual action in the trailer. The fourth time we watched the trailer, I was like, "Yeah, wow, the action does look unique." Like
That
comparatively
pivot
speaking,
is
yeah.
so
In the hallway?
interesting.
I feel,
yeah.
I feel like that's like early. That's act. It's gotta be Act 1.
Yeah, I think this is really going to
Act
blow
1.
some minds. There's going to be action people aren't expecting. It's not going to be. Yeah, they know their stakes are this high.
Yeah, they know that like I think they're aware of how revolution. Who's the action choreographer on this? Actually, that's the one thing I haven't looked up.
Yeah, I actually don't know that.
I know that we got
question.
a cinematographer who has worked with Wachowskis before.
Would you know
a
what
lot of
they've worked
Sense8 people on this.
No,
That makes sense.
A Ninja Assassin, Sense8 people.
The
editors
two
and
other
stuff.
writers, I believe, helped write the Sense8 finale
Yeah.
and all that.
That's something. They got different. They got a lot of different people in this chat, but and not in the chat in the movie. But I don't know who actually is a choreographer for this movie. Did Ewan Wu Ping choreograph Matrix 4?
That's what this.
I mean, if you, I didn't know. I actually don't even know if Ewan Wu Ping's still alive. To be honest, I know he's like super old.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah, I think the action here looks like we didn't see much martial arts stuff going on
Yet.
I think
Yes.
it's
We had that
Chad
Yaya
Stahelski.
It's Chad Stahelski.
Yeah.
No way.
John
Oh,
Wick
cool.
director
That's
Chad
exciting.
Stahelski.
Oh, cool.
Confirmed will be working choreographing fight scenes for the Matrix.
Hell yeah, that's what I like to
really
hear.
fun.
There you go.
That's what I like to
There
hear.
you
Am I the
go.
only one that didn't think that he looked like John Wick? I thought he looked like Keanu Reeves with long hair. Like my brain, everyone's like John Wick, and like everything I've seen, and like I guess I separate actors differently, but at no point was I like, oh, this feels like John Wick. It
Well,
felt like,
the character doesn't come across like John Wick.
but it's all everybody's saying like John Wick 4. I'm like, I
Nah.
don't feel it. I get what the joke is, but I also like I hope people don't feel that way.
It's because his look became defined.
It's
from
recency
the
bias,
long,
too.
It's the long hair and the facial hair. That look became defined by John Wick. like that Keanu Reeves look.
Yeah, I just hope it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt the film. That the new kids today that don't know the Matrix.
yeah.
Mhm. Why
You
is
kids-
John Wick in a computer?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's going on? He seems very upset about these pills.
All right, Dashiell Milner again with the moment of silence.
Thank you, bud.
Dashiell. Draft the filmmaker. What is your thoughts on Tom Tykwer being the composer instead of Don Davis?
Can we pull up Tom?
Tom Tykwer directed like Ninja Assassin and stuff.
He
He's a
composed
director, yeah. He's a director as
Fascinating.
well as a composer. And I think he did like
They should have released this on Jesus' birthday.
I think he did some other
December
Wachowski
25th.
stuff.
Palindrome,
yeah.
man. The palindrome. You gotta use that palindrome when you get it.
Oh yeah, Cloud Atlas.
He's got a cool face.
He did
The composer for it.
Yeah.
I love the music in Cloud Atlas.
Yeah, it's stunning, man. Because Cloud Atlas gets slept on, but that movie
Yeah, he composed
transitions
that.
by emotion. That movie has the most fascinating transitions, arguably, of the last 100 years. Nah, that's too much. 10 years.
I
10
haven't.
years.
Have you seen Sense8? I haven't seen Sense8.
No.
I've seen some, and it's good. It's just it's not my pacing.
Okay. Yeah.
So I liked Cloud Atlas, to be honest.
I like Cloud
it's
Atlas
the
a
true
lot.
true.
I like Cloud Atlas. A lot.
Okay, so he directed Cloud Atlas, Tom Tykwer.
One of the directors. There's like 3 directors on Cloud Atlas.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, look it up. Watch.
Yeah, he's
Watch me
one
be
of-
right.
Yeah, Tom Lana,
The
and Lily.
Wachowskis.
Oh, okay.
He's-
So
yeah.
the two of them and Tom. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think Cloud Atlas is slept on. I think it's gonna age well, like Speed Racer has. Speed Racer is the tits.
Speed Racer has really come back in
I think
recent
that's,
years.
that's. I mean, I think the only one that doesn't stand a chance is Jupiter Ascending. But
Yeah,
the
that doesn't deserve
but
a
the
chance. Sorry, Mila.
Wachowskis, though, their films often, even the sequels.
Yeah.
The sequels have gotten better in a lot. Not
Defenders.
everyone's. I'm not going to be. There's people who are like, no, those movies still suck. But I think there's a lot more people who have come around on those sequels.
And if you think about what Cloud Atlas actually accomplishes, is it's about like multi-generational trauma in its own way, and then you feel that through the score, which is apparently what we're getting, and you transition between 7 different storylines
Yeah.
through the power of emotion of music. If they can do that with the Matrix,
Yeah, it took a while for Cloud Atlas to flow.
but man, once it does,
But like once it does, it's great. yeah.
Well, that's
Paddington
the other
before he
thing-
was Paddington too. Ben
that's-
Whishaw,
Oh yeah.
love me some
yeah.
Paddington.
Well, and that's the other thing about this whole experience is like if there's one thing I associate with the Wachowskis in any variety, it's like distinct choices that not everybody loves, but that are
Yeah.
very distinct choices.
Nima, that's impressive that you could watch the Matrix trilogy in a day. I might do that leading up to this.
Yeah,
I definitely will.
Nick in Reloaded. The architect explains that Neo is the 7th one he's encountered. Each previous Neo chose to save Zion.
7th? I thought he was the 6th.
Yeah, I thought this was the 7.
Yeah,
I thought this would be the 7th one.
Correct
Okay.
us in the chat. He chose to.
He broke the loop because he chose love.
Yeah, each previous
Yeah.
Neo chose to save Zion over Trinity. He broke the loop. I wonder
Yeah.
which one he is now. 8th, 9th, 100th. Same.
I think it's just the very next one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, because it seems like he's lived just a longer life. So.
Yeah.
That aging mirror shot makes me think it's the next one, and time has passed.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least 22
I think
years.
I think it is. Yeah, it's got to be.
At least
He looked like
22
fucking-
years.
fucking-
have
He
passed.
looks fucking old.
Yeah, he
though.
looks like 50
Right.
years older.
Yeah, he looked-
Also, how
he
do you
looked
age
old
in those
as
tubes?
shit.
How do you age in a bubble? We don't know.
Yes, Jarate. The Wachowskis did direct Paddington.
They did. It's incredible.
Cloud
1
Paddington.
and 2.
Wait,
The
what?
No.
They absolutely did not direct Paddington. Somebody
Ben
from the
Whishaw was
Mighty
the connection,
Boosh
not
did.
the Wachowskis, but I love that idea.
Yes.
I would watch Paddington
I
Matrix
want-
tomorrow.
I want Wachowski Paddington.
Oh, man, he's the real one.
Okay. Let's
He
go
loves
here.
marmalade and justice.
Hey, Sean McLaughlin.
Hey, Sean. Super chat.
Chat.
Sean, take it away.
Take it away. To praise the super chat commitment on your Spider-Man stream. 6 hours of fan devotion. Humblest channel going. Oh, and the trailer's dope.
I don't know about the humblest.
Yeah, we're pretty cocky.
It
We're
just-
so humble
I
right
make
now.
them-
Let me tell you how
My
much.
arrogance raises theirs up by
It's,
being here.
it's just the presentation. We're on camera. We got to look humble.
It's the characters we created.
But
couple
in,
of humble
in real
people.
life, I'm just Daniel Day-Lewis in that scene when he and There Will Be Blood going, "Why don't I own this? Why don't I?" That's just me all the time.
Why isn't this monetized?
Why isn't this monetized? Why don't we get as many super chats as John Campion?
Yeah, man, we should be so lucky as to have companion videos to shoot for these things. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Sean. Frank DX. What's Sup, guys? I would love to see the twins again in this movie, the ghosts. Their fight
They were
against
the biggest letdown of
They
all.
really were. Those posters were so cool. I love the twin posters, and then here we are.
the fight against Morpheus is one of the best choreography in cinema history. And it's and it didn't like it flew over my head at the time. Like I knew they had that phasing power, but I was like, "Oh, they're supposed to be ghosts."
Yes.
I forgot there's a whole like ghosts and vampires
Werewolves and
element.
vampires, yeah.
Werewolves.
There's a whole. The second two movies were like everything in the Matrix is about blankety blank. That I don't think they ever really landed. I'm really curious if that happens in this one.
I hope
Yeah.
there are werewolves in this one.
Before author P Gaming in the chat is saying 1221, the Bible allegory, 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 21 of the Bible. Then a spirit came forward, stood before the Lord, and said, I will entice him. By what means? Asked the Lord. It sounds like Neo's going to be tempted with some type of choice to
Yeah.
have to make again at the end. And I wonder what that choice might be.
Trinity or the Matrix?
End the franchise or keep it going
Actually,
for some
no,
more
it might be
bucks?
Trinity or the Matrix because isn't a big part of why Neo is due to the love of Trinity?
Yeah, him choosing Trinity.
Yeah.
What if he doesn't this time?
Him
Or
choosing
what if
Trinity.
Trinity
and
has to choose him or the Matrix? She chooses the Matrix.
yeah, she's like,
Sorry.
I get better dick.
Yeah, I figured my own stuff out. Have you seen Yaya on
You
Watchmen? I got choices to make.
Have you seen Westworld? There's a way better artificial intelligence sex out there. Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway,
Doing that comic book shopping the week after Yaya Dick on TV was a bold move for the comics.
Oh yeah. Oh
just
yeah.
like yeah, can I see it?
I was just happy for him.
See it, man?
We briefly talked
we
about it.
could
I
do
was
this episode naked. If
Yeah,
you want.
dude, the store's closed. We got options.
Garth McMurray, Neo's blue pills are I heard about this. Ontofloxacin from the Folly Bridge Pharmacy. You know, there's a great channel called The Matrix Explained out there that I highly recommend if you guys want to learn more about The Matrix. Check them out. Alice's adventures in Wonderland are told on a boat trip from Oxford's Folly Bridge. I forgot. I thought either the word ontolo or floxin is a word. I believe floxin is a prescription for like depression, and then ontolo is like some type of deeper fucking thing that I don't remember.
Gotta watch the Matrix Explained channel.
Yeah, something like that. Because he doesn't do. I didn't see any leaks from the Matrix Explained guy. You gotta be careful. Like the leaks on here are. I don't know. I heard
I
someone
don't
said in
want
the
to
chat
look
they're
at
having
any
some
leaks if they're not Spider-Man.
Yeah, I only watch Spider-Man because
Jonah
Spider-Man was
Jameson of leaks.
Spider-Man was
I only want pictures of Spider-Man.
They're so conflicting. The Spider-Man.
Oh, that makes
Ontology has to do with the
Hey,
branch
Maria, hey.
with the nature of being.
that's great.
ontology has to do with the nature of being. So ontolo, okay, nature of being. Got it.
And
Got it.
Floxin with depression, you said? Something about...
I think so. I think it's like an act. That is a riff on an actual medication.
So that would
because
tie into what we assume his experience is in this
Yeah.
reality.
yeah, I wonder if there's going to be some type of commentary about like psychiatry being fucked up.
I mean,
It's a Scientology movie.
Tom Cruise is the one.
We meet
They're
Xenu at the
definitely
very end.
Scientologists. Those Wachowskis, right? Yeah. Undoubtedly.
But
Right.
there might be a commentary on like mental health being plugged into the Matrix being like beneficial or detrimental.
Yeah.
Like the first ones were, but now we live again. As my rant.
I mean,
earlier.
the struggle to deal with reality.
Yeah,
You know,
we're in it. That
is
shot
harder
in the
than
elevator
ever.
when everyone's like on their phones and he
Yeah.
looks up and there's people on their phones above him in another box.
Yeah.
we're all in boxes looking in little boxes,
I
and
think-
I
I
think that's more real than
it's
this.
going to be a very on the nose commentary.
Yeah.
I think this one's going to be way more on the nose. Omni Media.
Yay.
Hey, Michael B. Oh, I need to text you back. I'm so sorry. I'll make sure to text you back after this stream. I'm so sorry. Love you guys. That's why you super chatted. Text me back. Love you guys. That's it. So glad to be talking about this world again. Yes, man. I'm very so much excited for it. I assumed you'd probably be a big Matrix fan. Yeah. And yeah, Vishak, we talked about that clip earlier in the trailer. Called Rissian. Hi, guys. I'm excited for this movie as a French. I hope they will bring back French elements like Lambert Wilson, the Daft Punk. According to the chat, the Merovingian is going to be back in this movie.
Yeah, he's on the cast list, so you'll get at least a little bit of taste of home.
Zooming into more number-generated
More
vaginas.
numbery vaginas. Yeah.
That's
it
what this
goes.
one's really about.
I hope
Matrix
this
4.
movie, the opening credits, just zoom out of a big number code dick.
We are going to
gonna be dark.
we are going to buy another mic stand because before it was just John and I for all these, but we're going to buy another one that we can set up here so that way people like Koi can
I'll be right.
yeah
You can lean into
yeah
it.
exactly. The movie looks like if Netflix made The Matrix. I don't think so.
I don't agree with
I
that.
don't agree with that.
Could not
I don't
disagree
agree
more
with that.
personally.
It
I
looks
don't even have any-
different, but I don't agree with that. Not in a
Josh, talk about it in the chat with everyone. As long as you don't
Respectfully.
personally insult people.
Yeah.
But
I'm very curious
yeah.
about.
Yes.
Alright.
Curtis Mason. This trailer looks amazing. I was kind of late to the Matrix bandwagon, but I am so excited for this reboot, and I hope they capture the things that worked in the first 3 films and avoid some of the missteps from 2 and 3. I'm sure they hope that too.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think I think what goes wrong with the Matrix sequels. Here's my opinion. I think the Matrix 1 is the best film out of them all. It's got a great plot, great story beats, great arcs, emotionally swelling. Where the Matrix Reloaded is a better Matrix movie, but not a better film. Do you get what I mean by that? Like the enhancement of the world, the philosophy, the unplugged nature of the writing and directing. It's a better Matrix movie, but it's not a better like overall film, I would say.
I think Matrix 2 and 3, if they'd done the original plan of having the Animatrix be in film, like they wanted to do a Matrix prequel and a Matrix sequel. They wanted 3 films. And from what I hear, Warner Brothers was like, yeah, you can do 3 films, but they're sequels. So they split what was going to be one movie that was the sequel into 2 films, and then they made the Animatrix the prequel. And the Animatrix is stunning.
Yeah.
But I think making the second film 2 kind of bloated everything. And that caused the film to feel waterlogged in a way that I think could have been a masterpiece if it was a singular film. Yeah. I think it could be a great 3-hour movie, or this movie is going to do what that movie intended to do with pacing and reestablishing and stuff. I think this will make 2 and 3 better. I think 4 is going to enhance 2 and 3.
I've heard multiple people say that 2 and 3 work a lot better if you watch them in one go.
And that's what I think it was meant to be. So this 4 might give us that little tape.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, though, that this trailer is bringing it back a little bit more to the Matrix 1, and especially with the way how you're focusing on Keanu Reeves as just a character in this world doing on a path to rediscovery. Mm-hmm. So it does keep it more character focused for your main protagonist, whereas 2 and 3 are like... or a lot of just like talking heads of philosophy, which I love.
Yeah.
I love, but I totally get that it's not like the most emotionally engaging or a hero's journey or something, but
car stunts.
But I love the world building it does in the sense of like how much of a mind fuckery it is by the time you get to Matrix Reloaded, where you're like, this is the 6th one? What? They don't win? This is terrible. Like, so I love that.
And they were so mind blowing as a kid. And they hold up, but like I remember just not being able to hang with 2 and 3 in theaters. Just like, what is he saying? What is the architect? What does it mean?
Yeah, it's like it gets a little too bogged down in how deep it is and how deep it wants to be that it misses like some basic emotional storytelling. And it's like, but it'll sprinkle some cool action scenes in here, and then it's really easy to argue like, some of these action scenes really are necessary,
but that
no matter how cool they are. Yeah.
Like, to me, that introduced me to like Kant and Joseph Campbell and a lot of things that really shape what movie making is. The second 2, but unfortunately, while they were talking about all that, it just got really like too much. Too much talking.
I do miss the green tint, and I'm hoping they go back to it towards the end of the movie.
Oh, I think they will.
I want it to flow into like the green tint again, where like as the reality of the red pill. Like, I feel like the world. I feel like they're actually funny how the movie Equilibrium seemed to riff on the Matrix in terms of its style, but I feel like this movie's, if you guys have seen Equilibrium, people take these pills. It's actually a really cool action film. People take these pills to repress their emotions because emotions destroy humanity. And so the way how they're like doing this overabundance of blue pills in here and like red pills, it seems like, you know, blue pills will suppress you, red pills awaken you, just like the first movie, but now overabundance with humanity. It seems like that a lot of people are probably stuck on the blue pills here, you know?
I hope that we see the green wash, but I hope we get another third visual. I feel like the hypersaturation you kept mentioning is a reality. I hope we see the green reality, but I hope there is another iteration of software.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be down with that. Rakesh Hari, thank you for the moment of silence. I appreciate that.
All right, guys, we're here for 20 more minutes. Let's go here. The MTV Movie Awards is still great.
Oh, the Will Ferrell
is the architect.
Is so good.
Yeah, that is still like, yes. The Will Ferrell architect, absolutely.
Vis-a-vis?
Yes. That was peak MTV skits. It was long after they stopped playing music, but it was good for their skits.
You can show Moist Slop's comment.
Okay. We'll just have a moment of silence for people to
acknowledge.
soak that in.
Yes.
We're talking it up because they need it. They need the help from us.
We do. It's true. Feeling that slop.
Those Wachowskis, man.
Man,
or just the
A lot of people
one
keep saying this
Wachowski.
movie looks bad, and I keep not seeing why.
I feel like
Yeah.
it
Like, if
easily
you're-
looks a bit different, but I don't think it looks bad
I
at all.
welcome you to be in the chat here and say why you think it's bad or why you think it's going to be bad. Like, I don't mind you saying that as someone who has liked 2 sequels that a lot of people didn't. I don't mind.
We've
you
survived
going-
Matrix Reloaded
like,
Revolution slander.
we can handle you coming in here and being like, mean about or like critical of it, but just back it up.
Should we keep these on, or should we kill them now?
No, you keep it on right now. I mean, let's see here. Just a couple more minutes.
All right.
Make sure Coy gets out of here on time.
I mean, this time.
A lot of people. I've seen a lot of people who really don't like the movie. I mean, I know a lot of people disliked our trailer reaction because we cut out the music, but
Yeah, I don't know
Whatever.
how many of those dislikes are towards us or towards.
yeah, it's probably half and half.
Go like it, please. We worked very hard very early in the morning.
Yes.
All right, Rakesh Hari. Let me get that super chat back up on the screen here.
You can't.
followed
You
up.
can't win with a sequel this late. I think.
It's so hard until
Like-
it's already out and people have decided on themselves.
If it looks like a rehash, that's what it's going to be called. It's just a rehash.
Matrix rehashed.
Yeah, but if it looks like completely different, they're like, oh, this doesn't feel at all what I remember.
Yeah. People are saying
Yeah.
like midlife crisis and stuff, and I'm like, well, people do age.
Yeah,
Well, and I don't know. I appreciate.
I kind of like that tone.
It's a tricky prospect sometimes when so much time has passed, but I feel like it can also lead to some great movie magic when you use the passage of time and
Yeah.
you
Ted.
work it into what you're doing. Yeah.
Do the No Way Home leak from Cosmic Wonder. Let us just have 2 hours of not talking about Spider-Man.
Just two.
Just a couple hours. That's all we want.
Shout out to Curtis Mason. I didn't realize that was the last super chat. That guy's awesome. Love Curtis.
There's enough people who
Oh,
get really
Curtis
mad at
Mason.
us for covering Spider-Man as much as we do. So let us hone in on
said,
something
we do
else.
have
we
another
love.
video.
We do have. We did shoot a video talking about Spider-Man. Yeah. So yeah.
Plug.
All right. Let's go back here. Rakesh Hari. Guys, the Matrix usually has a green hue. At the end of Revolutions, the Oracle and Sati are in a hyper-saturated machine world. Neo in machine world now?
Let's see here.
Very end of Revolutions.
I don't know if he's in the machine world. I think he's in a new Matrix. I think that the green is gone on purpose, like we were just talking about. But I think he's in a different program. I think the software has updated, and this world is saturated. Like I do think it's not machine world. I think it's a new program.
Somebody's earlier in the live chat said they went from grunge to Apple Store, and I feel like that's actually kind of a good comparison because I feel like the more they update the Matrix, the more they probably think back. Like green used to be, and I even think of remember when they rebooted Johnny Quest with all the CGI
Right.
and stuff? Like green used to be a very future-y color, I feel like, just aesthetically, and now I feel like we've shifted to a lot of sleek whites and blues and things like that. So maybe they're going for that aesthetic in this new booted version of the program.
I feel like some of the daylight stuff, especially the ones where we're looking at the sunlight, seem to suggest enlightenment.
Well, and it's so warm. Like the
Yeah.
light is, the sunlight is so rich and orangey and warm. Like the color palette is so warm. Like
Also
it's not
the
even
s-
Did you notice
greenish.
how the conversation about this is so different than when we talk about Spider-Man or something? It's
We're
just
talking about
Yeah.
just like
philosophical quandaries and religious
How does-
overtones in the warmth of the sun.
how did the thoughts of Plato factor in?
I was watching the trailer. It's like I love the whole thing where he's looking through his fingers
I've
at
only
the
mentioned
sun.
Mephisto
And
once.
Mephisto will be the architect. at the
Morpheus,
end of this,
Mephisto,
yeah.
coincidence? I think not. But I do.
Morphisto.
Think Morphisto. The sun is a factor in the first Matrix. They talk about the sun burning out caused
Right.
all this. So I think that moment is very important.
Blade Runner, yeah.
Blade Runner 2049 is fucking awesome.
Mr. Holdbrook, was that Sati in the trailer in the scene with Alice in Wonderland book?
I think so.
You thought that was Sati, the
Yeah.
little Indian girl
Yep,
from
20 years younger, 20 years older. I think it's the little girl growed up.
Oh, really?
That's what I keep saying, Sati. You didn't realize I was referencing literally a shot in the trailer. I think
couldn't
that's
hear
Sati.
you.
I talk a lot. It's on me. I just go. No, I think that's Sati in the trailer.
we
Okay,
catch
okay.
every few words of yours, Coy.
I need closed captioning in life, and I'm sorry. Again, at Koijandra, where does he end? Yeah, I think Sati is the one with the book.
Okay.
I think she's trying to bring Neo back in the Matrix. I think she's going to play the Morpheus part because Morpheus is the
Really?
subconscious. Yeah. So I think the Morpheus we have in the trailer is the subconscious use of the machines trying to hoodwink Neo. I think Sati is the actual new Oracle stand-in trying to bring Neo into the world by soft reminding him who he is through the Alice in Wonderland metaphor.
Gotcha.
Maybe she's just stuck around and trained her after that.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that's what's
In
happening.
the arts of the oracles.
I also think the scene in the trailer with Morpheus, our concept of Morpheus, the fight when he says "You don't know me," is him realizing the betrayal of the machines. I think that moment is when he realizes that he's not Morpheus, that he's a machine, and then Sati's going to be the one that helps him out.
Dude, coy.
Maybe, I thought that would be Bugs, Jessica Henwick.
I think she's the one he follows to understand,
Okay.
but he needs to follow the White Rabbit before he can get the answers. The journey is the rabbit hole. The actual destination is not the rabbit hole. The rabbit
Okay.
hole is what you journey through to Sati,
All right.
I think.
All right.
Also, Jessica Henwick, perfection.
She looks awesome.
Good God.
She looks awesome.
So
All
excited.
right.
And martial artist extraordinaire.
Justin Strill. Well, that one like
Dude.
jumping,
And her flip
bit,
over the car.
Yeah,
Like,
so
she
good.
made Iron Fist so watchable.
so friggin' good.
I don't
the
say
best
that
part of
often.
Iron Fist.
Yeah, I'm like,
Best part of
every
Iron
scene
Fist.
with her, I wanted that show. So
She's kept it watchable.
put her in a Wachowski movie.
But will Finn Jones show up in the Matrix? That's what
I mean, he's about to be appropriating all sorts of decisions.
Oh boy, I want that conversation to continue. Justin Striplin, HBO Max
Nice guy, though.
is one reason why people think the Matrix Resurrections movie could bomb at the box office, and to me, the other reason is that it comes out a week after Spider-Man: No Way Home.
That is true. This is a week after Spider-Man.
I know I'm going to be at the theaters for all week. Like, we're
Yeah.
just going to live there. It's
Everyone's gonna see Spider-Man at least thrice.
Oh man, and then it's gonna be hard to get. Remember Endgame? How hard it was to get tickets on opening weekend. So there are gonna be people who are gonna be going next weekend, and it's closer to Christmas time, family, where more families are together. And let's face it, more families are gonna go watch Spider-Man: No Way
Spider-Man.
Home.
Because
They're
the
gonna
kids
watch
and the
Matrix.
adults are
Get the
bored.
kids together for the Matrix.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah. Oh
That's-
damn! That is
1
the release
week.
date of Spider-Man: No Way Home.
17th it's 5 days later.
Ugh.
That's even closer. It's not even a full weekend apart. It's 5 days after Spider-Man. Ouch. I mean, I'm going to see both, but we're the exceptions. Like, we're the weirdos that are like, yeah, I'll be there.
I mean, I would be more than that. Like, I don't mind doing my video of like, I was wrong, thank God. That would be a thank God moment for it. Be like, look how successful it is. I would be very thrilled if it's successful.
I might
yeah.
want to see The Matrix more than No Way Home.
I mean, my cinematic heart.
I mean, I will be. But, like, how weird of a feeling is that? Like, if there was, like, a decision to be made.
Oh boy.
They're two very different.
They're so
I'm curious for
different.
two very different reasons.
Yeah.
And my hype comes from two very different places.
I don't think I've been as excited for a superhero film as I am for Spider-Man since, like, leading up to Infinity War. But that was 10 years of hype. This is 22 years of hype. So it's not to disparage Spider-Man. It's just this is a philosophical, cinematic overture to what it means to be human.
Well, the problem with Marvel is that they immediately make you get focused on what's coming next.
Sure.
So once Spider-Man: No Way Home is done,
Well, it's a series.
it's
not a-
immediately
it's not a.
what's next. Yeah. Whereas Matrix is like
Let's
talk about
this.
Yeah, well, like
Yeah.
this, like what we're
Yeah,
experiencing
yeah.
right now. None of these are like we're not bouncing off theories. We're going like, what do we feel?
Yeah.
And so I just wonder where I'll feel in December after the year we've had.
I haven't seen the Injustice trailer yet. I'm going to. I think we'll react to it though. Have you played the game Injustice?
I've not, but I've read the comics.
Oh, that's okay. Perfect.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know the
I've-
story.
I've played both games.
Okay, I've read Tom Taylor's
Yeah,
book.
but you've read the comics.
Yeah.
We should do a reaction,
That'd be
Quite.
fun. Yeah, I know one side of it. I don't know the other side of it.
And then they're making the DC animated movie now.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm excited.
I think it'll be a.
We can do a compare and contrast of what the game is versus what the
I
comics
should
are.
play the game again then. It's been a long time. I played both games. Let's keep going. Oh, okay. Yeah, we should just stick to stickers in case.
Yeah,
Can you do it, Johnny?
Sweet, yeah. Tom.
We gotta wrap up in 13 minutes exactly.
we got this,
Sean
you guys.
McLaughlin in the chat says the sky color's not the same. Not my Matrix. That's that's the take of the day.
I mean, I do think that's intentional, but also I respect the
Not
sense.
my no intentional decisions are in my Matrix. Keep your intentional decisions out of my fiction.
All right, guys. We got 68,000 views on the other Matrix.
Nice.
So should we see how many dislikes?
We're
we
not
got?
gonna hit 50K
I'm gonna
views.
say 115.
I'm gonna say 150.
Okay. What do you got?
What?
I have 115, 150 dislikes.
Dislikes?
Yeah.
200.
All right, John's saying 200 dislikes. I'm saying 150. You're saying 115.
And I'm gonna say, how many views?
We're at 69K.
6,500 likes.
I'm gonna say 3,000 likes.
Jesus, optimist.
I know what happens when you got to remove a song from a trailer. I know
So-
how people get mad.
So 6,115, 3,150. What's your up likes?
Up likes? 7,000.
Oh, okay.
likes.
4.2 likes, 120 dislikes. Coy, you were closer on the dislikes.
All right.
I was. What were you on the likes?
7,000.
I was closer on the likes.
6. Your cynicism works for the darkness, and my optimism works for people aren't so bad.
That's
so
not too bad.
Combined, we're realistic.
Yeah,
That's
Perf.
nice.
All right, Incredible Tom.
That's what
also,
that's how I stay positive, guys. I go, how many dislikes do we got?
that's what's up.
Thank you to those who are understanding for the
This is what it's like to be a YouTuber.
for how much we have, man. We've sacrificed far too many reactions.
None of us slept for those
None of us
120
slept, yeah.
dislikes.
All right.
Stephen Owens.
Incredible Tom. Also, I think Priyanka may be playing the little girl that Seraph was protecting.
You see,
Sati.
Incredible Tom makes a great point. That's why I was like, I don't think that's
Not Sati?
Sati, because I believe Priyanka is cast for this movie, and so Priyanka and then Nick Jonas is doing the theme song for her.
That's right, man.
You guys, Rage Against the Machine has been replaced by Nick Jonas.
The edgiest Jonas.
At the end, it's him doing a cover of Rage. It's the same song, but it's Nick
Dude.
Jonas.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And Rob Zombie. He's covering the original tracks. That's
yeah.
the resurrection.
Yeah.
It's
So
the resurrection of Nick Jonas.
why don't more people like this? That's what we should have done with the reaction. Why don't? So
do a
yeah,
live.
no, I feel like that makes more sense that you would get Priyanka for that.
Yeah, it's a bigger role.
Yeah.
It's a big actress. I'm curious, though. It
I
looks so much like her.
I hope they do terrible flashbacks in this.
Just awful.
Just awful flashbacks.
I just want
Just
scenes of
a
him eating cookies in the
Lifetime
Oracle's
channel
office.
flashback.
All right, here we go. Let's see here. Stephen Owens. Telma Hopkins is cast, so I'm guessing she may be the new Oracle. Also, are all agents rogue programs now? Now that the agent assimilated the cop?
But they did that from
They
the
did it all the
get-go,
time in
yeah.
the first one.
Yeah, that's
No,
I mean,
It's
the
really-
whole prologue, like you see guys.
The Matrix Reloaded, they just stopped giving two shits.
Yeah.
On that freeway? It's
Yeah.
like fucking hack everyone. Just-
Yeah, that's the whole fight. It's just like, screw it. Everyone's dead.
everyone's hard. Screw it. And then even in the Matrix 1, when they're running through the city chasing after Neo,
They just, like,
they're
bam
just
them in the
like,
bodies.
go through that dad, go through that. Yeah, just
But
keep
then in Reloaded, they literally don't leave them. It's
Yeah.
just hundreds of them
There's
being
just so many
like,
of it,
replicated. Yeah.
They know how much we cling to normalcy, and we'll fill in the blanks if we have to. All right. Ken Chun, 24, loved it. And while WBDC films have had issues, WB's long-off returns to franchises have been great. Mad Max Fury Road, Blade Runner 2049, my favorite films of the 2010s. So, hyped.
This is different than those guys.
I agree with what he's saying, though. Like, Warner Brothers tent poles that are rejuvenating franchises are great.
Space Jam 2, A New Legacy.
Oh, shit.
That just proves it that much further. Well,
Who had fun? Don Cheadle had fun. And I'm happy for Don
at
Cheadle.
least that.
Damn it, you're totally right. I was so on board, Kin Chun, and then I'm immediately devastated.
Space Jam's not the same
Broke
category.
my hat.
Space Jam's not the same category as thought-provoking, philosophical, sci-fi action adventure films.
Those both are. Thank you very much.
No,
I
it-
stand by
What
it.
can argue Space Jam is?
I mean, it's a sci-fi action adventure. Just is it thought-provoking?
Actually, one could argue Space Jam's closer to the Matrix because they were talking about what
Right.
technology does to ruin everything. Unlike
Yeah.
Fury Road or Blade Runner 2040.
And because the Matrix exists within the serververse, we could see Bugs Bunny. Like Granny lives in the Matrix apparently, so maybe Granny will show up in
the
this
Matrix
movie.
was a part of Space Jam, so
It
it's
was a
all
heavy
one big shared
part
universe.
of Space Jam.
Yeah.
It's
They
all
kept
one.
going back to that joke about Granny.
John Perez.
Yeah.
Thank you, John. I just noticed when the SWAT guy shoots at the screen is showing Neo in the Matrix movie be unplugged with the liquid.
Yep.
That was that missile
Yeah.
shot we were talking about. That's when I think we change programs.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yes,
fascinated.
John.
I'm very fascinated
Yes.
to know how they make use of the
1000%,
first film and
yes.
this film. I love that they're at least acknowledging all these things.
I think it's going to be a commentary on pre-technology and post-technology.
Hmm.
I've got this theory about like us living in the last prehistoric times. So I think that's going to be a factor because we live in times that are recorded intermittently currently. That's about to change in the next 10 or 15 years. Like we used to make jokes about Big Brother. We used to make jokes about like look at World Star. Like World Star changed cinema. It changed life because we started being our own cops. We started monitoring ourselves because of World Star because it was exciting to yell World Star and film a fight. People got arrested. But then we started doing shit where we record everything. I think The Matrix represents the end of the freedom of not being watched. And I think the commentary on being watched is going to be a huge factor here because of the internet, because of everything we live through. We're the last generation to know what it's like to have privacy. That's all about to change. Prehistoric times. These are the last times that things are going to be subjective and objective because the way we used to look at things being written is how we're going to look at things stopping recording now.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So we're living in prehistoric times for the future, and I think The Matrix might address that.
Damn.
I think you're
love
probably right
that.
on the money about that.
I think that's what that shot represents. I could be reading too much into it.
I think you're probably 100,000%
Read
on the
further,
money here.
Coy. I don't think you can read too much into the Matrix.
There's got to be a reason to bring back the Matrix.
Exactly.
There's
This
gotta be a
isn't
reason.
just, and everyone's saying it's a cash grab or midlife crisis thing. Like, you would not do that.
That's a fucking trailer.
Keanu Reeves
I
also,
feel like the
But Keanu
Wachowskis
Reeves
could
wouldn't-
live off of the other Matrixes if they needed to so bad. Like I feel like it always could be a cash grab, but I think after so long, you got to have an idea.
Also, Keanu Reeves wouldn't do a script that's going to tarnish the first three, in my opinion. He's got a very selective eye. And I would say that Yahya Abdul-Mateen's career is so perfect that if the script wasn't going to enhance his already impressive resume, it's way more dangerous for Yahya, who's on the upswing, to do something that's going to tarnish. You don't lightly play a Morpheus type. So
Yeah.
I don't imagine the script is light. So I personally think it's going to be genius.
He's like the go-to reboot guy.
He's insane, man. He's everywhere.
Candyman,
Yeah.
Matrix. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
also
dude.
like the Chicago 12.
Chicago
he
7.
just,
Rebooted
like,
the Trial of Chicago.
he just brought it back. But no, his career is just perfect.
He's gonna play every role in the next one. He's so underrated in
He
that
really,
movie
He's
too.
underrated in life, man.
Sean McLaughlin,
Big dick.
Matrix,
Watch Watchmen.
Matrix times 3 is shorter than your Spider-Man stream. You know, it's close because the first Matrix is just a little over 2 hours.
I'd say it's about the same length as the Spider-Man
Probably
stream.
about the same.
The
yeah.
runtime's pretty close. Thank
Yeah.
you, Sean. That's amazing.
Drew Kaboom.
Moment of silence, but in the live chat you did ask who Christina Ricci is playing. I think that's an interesting question. She is in the cast of this movie. Any takers, or is she just a new character?
I think she's barely in the movie. I think she's just a friend of the Wachowskis.
She's just
she's
gonna
gonna be
hang
in it.
out with Keanu in one scene and that's it.
I think she's gonna play a version of someone that we met in Matrix 2 or 3. I think she's gonna be like
Niobe.
what we think Yahya is.
She's gonna be Niobe.
Niobe. That's
Yeah.
it.
Definitely.
That's where it is.
She's
But
gonna
I
be
think, I
Lee
think she's gonna
Wanell.
be. I think she's gonna be somebody important. So I'm gonna go the other way.
I hope that in this movie that Lana gets to do more overt, more direct of what they wanted to do with Switch.
Yeah.
Like Switch being a transgender character.
And having
And
like different.
I think now's the time to do it. And
Yeah.
to capitalize on all that wokeness. No, it's just.
We're not on that channel today. Let's avoid
Oh, sorry,
those
my
channels.
bad. I
Let me-
That was
I-
a different live stream.
Let me tell you something about the original Matrix movies, okay? Let me tell you what those are kind of about, all
Shang-Chi
right?
only made $94.6 million in a Labor Day weekend. Frankly, too woke.
Too woke, go
Fuck the
broke.
internet.
Get woke,
No,
go
my,
broke.
my point is that I think that now would be a time to really use that as an opportunity to actually do what they wanted to do with Switch and make that more clear with the
I'd love
character.
that.
Like, might as well do it.
Yeah.
And I think Lana Wachowski, is probably qualified to do
She
the
might have some-
commentary on it.
Yeah.
Conversations to have about
Just saying.
Absolutely. Justin Striplin.
Hey, Mrs. Vampire.
I'm
We're going to end soon. Hey, Sarah.
I'm thinking the machines must have erased Neo's memory from the Matrix Revolutions when they had to kill Agent Smith. This is probably why Neo doesn't have any memory of what happened.
Machines must have raced. Yeah. I mean, I feel like the question is, though, why would they need him? Right? That's what I can't fucking figure out. Why would...
Why reboot with him?
Well, yeah, why keep... why...
This is a problem.
Yeah,
we should
like,
bring it back.
Why not just eliminate them, or can the Matrix not exist without them?
I assume that there's something that he knows they need information on. Maybe finding someone, maybe Trinity, maybe without him they can't access Trinity. I think they use Morpheus, Yaya, to access Neo to get to something.
I mean, I could reply, John.
Oh, okay.
We got a little thing that we have to go to, so that's why I'm like.
My mom's in the chat.
I was showing that to you to be like, we do got to wrap up on time.
Yeah,
And Koi has to leave too.
It's true.
We got the last couple.
Koi's
chats
going
here.
somewhere that I can't say, but he is lucky.
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing. You'll see
Can't-
you'll see what I'm leaving to in like 2 weeks.
We can't say.
Can't
right?
say.
Can't say where you're going.
But
Okay.
it's gonna be cool.
Wow, now I want to know. Just whisper in my ear.
I'll tell you after. I promise.
All right. So, Elemental Sea. Donations are cool, right?
Yeah,
They are so cool. Shouts out to you in Australia. Josh, Tech Gamer, India Girl in the trailer. She was in 3 as
Are they saying
Sati?
Sati?
Dude, go to John Campion, man. I'm sure he got more sleep than us. Go to John.
He's
Yeah, we get
firing
it.
on all
Yeah,
cylinders.
go.
It's
Enjoy.
all
We're,
right.
we're about to end. You
We've
might
been
as
up
well-
since
This is
4:30.
done.
You might as well
Yeah.
go.
This
Yeah.
is hour 6 of our day already.
Yes. Incredible, Tom. You are incredible. Interesting is that vampires exist in the Path of Neo game, which the Wachowskis were heavily involved in. The ending of the Path of Neo game was supposed to be the alternate ending for the 3rd film. Interesting.
That would have
not
been
know
cool. Yeah, well, they do establish in Matrix Reloaded like about werewolves and stuff.
Yeah.
And so
And those dudes are ghosts.
it would be cool if they decided just to
Lean
go,
all the
"Fuck
way
it, Let's
in."
go. Put
Let's
some
also be
werewolves."
Kristen
Underworld.
Stewart's here. Robert Pattinson's
That's
here.
what I'm gonna say. Christina Ricci's playing is a
Kate
werewolf.
Beckinsale's
She's playing
here.
the chick from Underworld. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she is.
perfect.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Mr. 47. I hope there's another virtual steak eating scene.
That is a great, delicious.
It looks so good. I
Thomas
sound design.
Anderson.
I was just thinking about that. I don't even eat meat anymore, but thinking about that steak, I'm like, oh
When
yeah.
I see Joey Pants, I think steak.
Tom-
Like it left a mark.
Thomas Anderson works at a steak packing company.
Mm.
Nerd's Eye View. One more question. Do you guys think we will get a director's cut of this film just in case if WB cuts most of the film? That's an excellent question. I mean, I don't imagine
Wachowskis
WB
don't
is going to
strike me as
like...
the type, yeah.
I
I feel like what's going to make it to the theater is going to be their vision, or as much as it can be. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
This is going to give me some hate from a very specific audience, but I think that the Warner Brothers overall, you're looking at comic book films very specifically, but Warner Brothers has made some of the best movies. So I think it's really, really hard right now with people being so critical on Warner Brothers, which I get the animosity towards certain properties, but Warner Brothers is responsible for Harry
What
Potter.
the fuck are
Warner
you
Brothers-
talking about?
Warner Brothers is a very good studio, so it's really hard when people are like, but that corner, this isn't in that corner. I think we're going to have a good film, and I
Yeah.
think Warner Brothers gets a lot of undue crap.
Maybe.
Goodbye, audience. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Unsubscribe.
Wait,
Everyone that I get to join my page today is like, this guy.
Yeah, let's subscribe from him, not us.
Yeah, no, they're great.
Awesome.
Just my take.
All right, last one.
Yes.
Last run. Rhino Eat. Y'all look up the end to The Matrix Online. I want that in this movie. Hoping Yaya is more main protagonist and Neo eventually as Morpheus. Koi Pond, hashtag Koi Pond, hashtag drugs.
I am honored to be synonymous with hashtag.
I'm honored to be on drugs.
I do. No, I don't think it's gonna
Only
go
thinking
down. I don't think
Morpheus.
it's gonna be going down that path. No, I get what you're saying. Like Neo eventually as the Morpheus role, not he's playing Morpheus,
Like
but
the mentor,
yeah.
the guy that brings people into the Matrix. I see what you're saying.
I could see it going down that path, but I don't know. They alluded to a lot with Trinity that seems to be like
She's the lead.
she's the real one. Like yeah,
Yeah, that's my
And
thought.
this-
My final theory is we all know that Mr. William Smith was originally asked to be Neo and did not take the role. I think Agent Smith comes back, and it's Will Smith. Agent Will Smith. That's the villain. That's the enemy. That's the movie.
That's why
the
he-
seventh Matrix.
That's why he gained a bunch of weight
Yeah.
during the pandemic.
That's how it's done. That's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see Agent Will Smith.
Yeah,
December
there's a Neo walks down a hallway and all he hears from the end is ha 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 ha.
And there's a Matrix rap we get for the first time. We get a live Matrix rap that
Yes.
Neo just watches.
Neo stops a bullet and he goes, "Oh hell no!"
Hell no.
What is this? Some kind of Matrix resurrection?
Alrighty.
Some kind of Matrix.
All right.
Are you some kind of the one?
We got Flev Doran in the Streamlabs bringing us full circle.
Last
Flev
one.
Doran got home. Cool trailer. Excited to see the characters back. Weirdly enough, I'm more taken aback by Keanu's John Wick look than Morpheus' actor change. Smiles and love to you, Flev.
Fairly odd ASMR. Ah, yes, another
Thank you,
lame
Flev.
sequel to the film that kicked off the woke era. Y'all know The Matrix is a trans allegory, right? From the mouths of the Wachowski sisters themselves. Enjoy. We will enjoy
Yes,
it, you
I
bigoted
am
fucking cunt. That is a good thing. We need more of that cinema. Don't be a fucking asshole. Take it to another channel. There's plenty of asshole channels that are mad at all the shit that's making people's lives better. There's a lot of good white movies you can watch with white straight people. Fuck you. Go elsewhere.
I feel like with a movie.
They were being sarcastic. I'm just joking.
If you were, I'm sorry. But if you
with a film with a film
so sick of that shit. It's only about to begin.
with a
Wachowskis, I love
film
you.
as rich as The Matrix with as many themes and things to unpack. I'm like, why does the trans allegory get on people? I'm like, there's so much
going
allegory.
on.
There's
It's
so
an
many
allegory
allegories.
as a film.
Why are many more possible meanings triggering to you?
Oh,
like
man, I'm just so sad.
because
that
it is
people
a
are
trans
affected
allegory,
by
but it's
that.
not only a trans allegory. There's a bunch of stuff going on, and it's rich, and that's why it's great. And
It's
there is
beautiful that
trans
stories
allegory,
are being told,
but
and
like,
what an amazing way to tell a story that's important than through the Matrix.
yes, supporting trans rights makes us cucks. It's exact. There's a one-to-one
That's
between
it.
that
That's
and
a
watching
direct-
someone have sex with your partner.
I think
It's exactly like that.
I think there is no better way to end this.
I got
Than
so
with
angry.
animosity.
Dude, that was awesome.
I fucked that guy.
That was
or girl.
awesome. That was awesome. I appreciate you saying that. That was
Because The
great.
Matrix is a trans allegory, I don't like any of it anymore. I just decided.
Tagging out.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
just my
Burn
whole
those
mind
DVDs.
is changed all of a sudden, and nothing I gleaned from it the first time is relevant.
Yeah,
in
actually,
light of
those
that.
lessons you learn, those life lessons, you got to get rid of them because they might.
Because
make
that's
you
what the
feel some
Wachowskis
things.
said after revealing that it was a trans allegory. It's that ... and all your other interpretations are wrong and not applicable to
They
this
incepted
movie.
you. I'm sorry about
Yeah.
that.
I think you should. I think this is what you gotta make your channel about now, Clark.
Just take on,
Me
Just take-
fucking at the camera,
Just
just
a-
angry,
just angry and aggressively woke.
That was
sweating
great.
with rage. All right. I mean, that's my 2 cents.
Guys, there's no other better place to end it.
Nope,
I, w-
nope. This is it. This is the
I
time.
just would have loved it if they were actually sarcastic.
And now in the chat, just like, no, I swear, I'm sorry.
Like one of your
I have so many trans friends.
giant follower of yours
I'm
that's
like,
always sarcastic.
that
and I'm
person's transgender. What are you doing?
like, our biggest patron, and they're transgender, and they've actually supported us from the beginning.
I was just listening to something the other day about like the red pills are modeled after like a specific estradiol pill or something like that. So like, yeah, it's all over that person.
Beautiful that they gave in 1999. In 1999, thank you. In 1999, they gave people a place to feel welcome, and they did it in an alternate culture of hackers and the goth clubs and the world that is just below the surface. And now those people get to be above the surface and living very vocal public lives. It's beautiful they had these metaphors, and it's beautiful we don't live in that backwards of a time anymore. Fuck that person.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm actually.
So fuck that person. Subscribe. Click that like.
I mean, now they're saying the guy in the middle looks like Leave It to Beaver.
I mean, I'm way less aggressive about that. I mean,
I'll
that's
take
whatever. Like,
you have
it's
a
like,
classic look,
yeah,
Coy. You got a
that's cool with me.
classic.
And also,
all-American.
I just ranted for 3 minutes. You had a lot of time to come up with something better than that, bruh. Like, come on, get better at insults.
And you're behind a keyboard too. I mean,
Yeah,
Why
like-
isn't
you got time
You're a
and patience.
cowboy, a keyboard cowboy. You're a nothing behind a fucking fake name. Be better.
Why isn't your mom in the chat?
She
Coy?
is.
She is. Stephanie is in the chat.
Yeah, my mom's
Oh, I missed you. Damn.
in here. Yeah, no, she's in here rocking out.
All right, dude. Your mom is so supportive.
She's the best, right?
Guys,
She watched your whole stream, the whole 6 hours.
I know
by
she's
the way.
such a sweetheart. So hot.
She's good people.
Yeah.
She turns 50 this year. It's her birthday in 2 weeks.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey.
I don't even. Now I'm more uncomfortable than I was 2 minutes ago. Screaming.
Red Rum.
Greg fucking cunt.
Red rum. I want to know how you got that backwards. Are
Just like, man.
Koi is a king, Ibrahim Khan, and yes, I also cannot wait for LeBron James and Bugs Bunny to appear in this movie. Bugs, the character, is gonna
Is
pull off a
Bugs?
mask and reveal that
Yes.
it's Bugs Bunny, and this has all been to get Neo to come help with the basketball game.
All right, guys, look. We got to end this now. Thank you so much for being here. And Stephanie is hot.
Stephanie's hot.
Just when I thought we were going to end it.
Yes.
How do our live streams always get this off the rails? We were like Plato and the thoughts of philosophy as pertaining to the sun
Plato.
itself.
The thoughts of
Well,
hot.
Coy, frankly, you've carried so much energy for this. I'm very grateful for it.
And
Always an
thank
honor,
you,
guys.
just a quick late in the game thank you to Alma Pow for that sticker that you
Thank
sent
you.
last minute, last super moment of the day right
Thank you,
there.
Alma.
Thank you, Alma.
Thank you guys so much for being here. The Matrix means more to me than you realize, and it means to all of us. And so yeah. Anyway, we got 8 more Spider-Man No Way Home videos coming out over the next 3 days.
Keep a lookout for
Gotta
all
get
the
back
leaks.
on track. You know?
6-hour live stream
I-
part
I-
2.
I know that we gotta keep going.
Gotta fix the algorithm after talking about something non-Spider.
Yeah,
You gotta balance the
We
scales.
gotta go back.
That guy looks like the ally version of Bill Burr. I am honored. I love Bill Burr so much. So much. That is perfect. I had to end it there. I love him.
But take care, guys. Thank you, everyone who contributed to our super chats and Streamlabs. Thank you, everyone, for just being here in the chat with us. You guys rock, except for that one motherfucker. Thank you, guys.
It's my birthday next week. As a gift, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'm really trying to get swipe up powers. I really want to be on red carpets for my own name instead of companies I work for. Follow me. It's my
if
birthday
you
next
haven't followed Koi, if you're still in the stream, you haven't followed Koi, follow him on Instagram
Follow
or
the Koi.
YouTube. Give him a follow. That's all he asked for.
week. That's all I want. And I'll see these guys very soon. I love being on this channel. Thank you guys always.
Like, Greg, will you pay me to come by? And I said, no. I will get you 10 followers.
And I'm like, you know what?
For 4 hours of work.
In this economy, I'll be there, Greg. In this economy, I'll be there.
All right, see you guys. Thank
Love you all. Thank
John,
you.
end it. Koi, drop the mic.
That drives sound people nuts. Sound people hate that.
Costly.
Much love, everyone. See you later.